The Pioneer category offers recognition for those who have brought innovation to the sport of diving and contributed to its evolution. Video now for our first Pioneer honoree.
Kuni Schultz was born and raised in Germany during World War II. She was an accomplished diver, but missed out on the Olympic experience. In 1948, when Kuni was 24, Germany did not attend the London Olympics. She continued training in hopes of Helsinki in 1952. She used to joke about being the old lady on the team at 28 years of age. In 1952, the Germans did not have the finances to support a full team, and Kuni did not make it to Helsinki. She went on to participate in diving exhibitions, and in 1957 she immigrated to the United States, where she coached diving for 30 years. She became a force in Texas and had a passion for promoting age group diving and developing youth programs. Kuni started the Bay Area Star Diving Team in 1986, along with her son Sven. Over the years, Kuni instructed hundreds of young divers. She was also the executive director of the Dad's Club YMCA in Houston, Texas. Kuni was not always in good standing with the other directors at the YMCA. She didn't believe in every child getting a chance to play equal time and felt competition served a purpose in developing character. However, her YMCA offered the first large-scale gymnastics program in the city, built an outdoor heated 50-meter pool, and had kids travel internationally to competitions. Many national and Olympic-level swim and dive coaches got their starts there. Kuni was a hard worker and conservative in nature. She enjoyed her role teaching diving. It was her identity. Her passion for diving improvement was often the topic at family meals, board meetings, and family vacations. Some of son Sven's diving teammates nicknamed Kuni the Machine because of her tireless work habits and expectations of others to do the same. The Bay Area Stars diving team was her retirement job. Because of her effort, many kids developed athletic skills, received her mentorship, and entered into college athletics. Kuni never stopped learning about the sport, and the effort she put in provided kids and families with countless opportunities. And for this, we welcome Kuni as a pioneer into the USA Diving Rings of Honor for her overall contributions to the sport of diving.
And please welcome Kuni's son, Sven, and presenter, Joseph Suriano.
So I've asked my son to stand back here to kind of give me a little support and kind of see the family of diving. You know, we're not the excellent divers that some of you guys are, but we definitely feel welcome and part of the sport. Kuni was a hard act to follow, you know, as a kid, you know, coming in here and seeing the accomplishments. But again, thank US Diving for taking the time, the energy, finding the support to make all this happen for all the recipients. I think Kuni would be upset with me though if I didn't recognize, you know, some of the coaches that she coached alongside. So I know some of y'all will be recognized, but anybody who coached against Kuni and had divers that beat her, could you please stand up that had athletes in there? I know Dick, I know Hobie, there's several of you guys, Mike in the back. I'm gonna tell you guys, y'all were the ones that drove her. You know, after we'd come back from a meet, it was always this long lecture of, oh my God, did you see what they did? Did you see what they did? And workout sucked. So, you know, I mean, I appreciate it, but again, y'all were the ones that kind of drove all that had happened. Talking to this group about diving is something that's kind of difficult because you get some of the experts here. You got some of the best in the world. So On the plane, I was going through some of my mom's stuff, and if you'll allow me, I found some of the things that kind of were the building blocks. You know, we've talked about education, we talked about, you know, what promotes the sport. So here are a couple things I found. How many of you have read Hobie Billingsley Diving Illustrated? For you expert divers out there, if you need to know how to do a 1.5 layout, it's in there. But on the preface, I think, you know, Hobie talked about, he said, you know, with these problems in mind, the author presents this book with the purpose of providing a guide that can be useful to coach diving instructors and others concerned with the development of the skills. You know, he also talked about, you know, that perhaps the two most significant weaknesses are in the supply of sound teaching materials on a competitive diving and in the great need for new diving coaches. So again, you know, this is something that was written, Hobie, when? 1965. So he had a vision. These are visionaries that we're acknowledging here tonight. Also, I found the book, Dick Smith. Did any of y'all dive with Dick Smith? Anybody? I don't know how you did dry land diving in the dirt. Unbelievable. God. A few other things I found. I said, you know, Kuni was an organizer, a collaborator, and I've kind of picked up on some of that, but I got a far way to go. But one of the things that she did, she worked on the diver. And in this, y'all talked about masters divers. I don't know if y'all knew Valerie Ryan. But if you didn't know, Valerie will be on, I think it's July 1st in Jeopardy. So Kuni was real good about surrounding herself with smart people, for sure. Not to be outdone by these guys, she tried to put together her own book on how to run meets. Then, you know, Chuck Niesel did things, but again, these were guides that I found as I was going through her stuff. And last, you know, for you guys who have parents that are being recognized tonight and so forth, let me tell you, what Kuni did for me was a huge resource. This is, and I'm not at all gonna have time to do it, but look at that. That's the story of her life. And so she put that in there for generations like this to see there. So if you haven't done it or doing something, please do that for your family, because your history is just too rich. Thanks. As mentioned, Kuni was a pioneer, and you know, along with the guy who invented the diving board. What pressure? But what I'll say is that about Kuni is I don't know how they did all they did. You know, they didn't have a fax machine. I'm on distribution lists. I got blogs. I got websites. All I know is that my mom or my dad and I did a lot of cooking while she was on the phone to Europe and all that to make a lot of the things happen. But I think the most important thing that Kuni had going for her was that there was a culture of collaboration, a culture of working together, and an environment that allowed people to try things. And I think of the things like age group diving, getting started, and the trips that they got to do, you know, that was a huge part of it. Last thing, I appreciate you guys for acknowledging Kuni, giving her me the chance to see the video. Thank you so much.